Wine and olive oil are two things that I hate to live without in the kitchen, but luckily for me today, I'm surrounded by both of them here in the Santa Rita Hills, Santa Barbara. Hey, Wes. How you doing? Good. So tell me, what's so special about growing wine and olives here in the Santa Rita Hills?
Well, you have these east-west valleys. You can see that the valleys here have actually turned due to a tectonic shift that started 12 million years ago, which pulls the cold air off the Pacific and cools us down. If we didn't have the east-west valleys, we'd be growing Cabernet Sauvignon and Sauvignon Blanc here. But because the temperature is so cool and the coastal influence is so strong, we can grow cold climate varietal grapes like Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
Now, Wes, you guys have some special techniques that you have for growing the vines. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. I think this would be a good place to kind of stay. Right now what we're doing is we're doing the canopy management, which means what we want to do is teach the vine to grow through these wires. So it makes sort of a solar panel on the east side that we're facing, and all of these leaves will almost fill in like a canopy or a curtain of foliage, so they're absorbing sunlight, making sugar.
Oh, so you're trying to make a wall of leaves.
Exactly. The more sun and wind we can get in on the interior of this canopy, the more this will impact the final flavor of the grapes. The more sun we get on the grapes, the brighter the fruit actually is in the wine.
So now we're going to see the olive trees, right?
Yes, this is a very small part of our orchard. Some of the smaller trees, but yeah, these trees will produce oil this year.
So Wes, is there anything special about growing olives in this region?
Well, I think one thing you'll notice is most of the time when you have the highest quality of olive oil or grapes to make wine, you see them grown on a hillside. So the key to the Santa Rita Hills is how long we can hang the fruit on the vine, on the tree, and still produce amazing flavor because of the long, cool growing season.
So what would you say the major difference, like someone tasting olive oil from a warmer climate to
you would get
this one?
buttery flavor in a warm climate oil, grassy green apple flavor with good acidity in a more coastal climate.
And that's what we have here.
Climate. Exactly.
Well, Wes, now comes the really fun part. We get to use your olive oil and your wine to cook some delicious recipes, and you're going to cook one of your favorite recipes, actually. Tell me about it.
Well, this is a really simple Mexican dish called rajas, and I fell in love with rajas at a restaurant. It's basically just rough cut pasilla chilies, onions, and then you just reduce it with some olive oil or butter.
So you're just going to chop up those onions there, real simply?
Just give them a nice even chop.
Okay.
Nothing too big, nothing too small.
And basically you just throw all this into a pan and cook it down,
That's
right?
it. It's the easiest dish to cook. I mean, a third grader could cook it.
I'm kind of doing a European riff on that, but I'm using potatoes and mushrooms, chanterelles, and you said that these mushrooms actually are local mushrooms.
Yeah, we got these chanterelle mushrooms out of the Santa Rita Hills, right in the hills and back of our vineyards.
I'm just gonna finely chop the shallots and sweat those with some of those local mushrooms that are cooked down in a little bit of butter.
All right, so we're gonna put the peppers and the onions into the oil with a little bit of garlic. This is a little queso fresco, and this is just gonna start melting all the ingredients together, and I'll usually do 2 or 3 different additions of about that much.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna add the mushrooms, the chanterelles, and the butter, and add your olive oil. So I've got my shallots and mushrooms cooking, so we can get started on cutting up the potatoes, and maybe you can help me with the strawberries for the dessert. So basically we just need to take off the stems from the strawberries and cut them into quarters. And I'm just gonna cut these little baby Yukon Golds into halves. And I just parboiled these potatoes till they were fork tender and let them cool. Grab my shallot and mushroom mixture, and that has all the flavor, the shallot and mushroom mixture, and that's gonna go over the top of the potatoes. But what's nice is that I don't have to dirty another dish. And I'm just gonna put the potatoes right side up here, and it'll be easier to serve as well like this, and it looks nice, I think. And all the flavor really is coming from this amazing mixture, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of your Chardonnay over the top, and it's gonna help to keep it moist as it broils. Do you wanna help me put the cheese over the top here?
I don't think anything suffers from too much cheese.
All right, so this can go under the boiler now. All right, so we can get started on the strawberries. I'm just gonna grab a saucepan here, and I'm just gonna throw the strawberries in here, and I don't want to do anything too much to them because I really want the Pinot Noir to come through. So I'm just gonna add a touch of sugar. The strawberries have a lot of, obviously, natural sugar anyway. And it's gonna go over the top of ice cream, which is sweet too, so it's okay that they're not gonna be super sweet. And we don't need too much because we're just gonna add a touch of heat here, and we want a little bit of a syrupy consistency, so we don't wanna have to boil it down too much. Oh yeah, that looks great. Perfect. So that's for you, Wes.
Oh, lovely.
And I'm gonna try yours.
Muy caliente.
How's that?
I love the juxtaposition of the earthiness and the acidity from the Chardonnay. And the cheese is delicious.
Oh, that flavor's amazing.
Brown.
Spicy, woo! Oh man, Wes, life is good, huh, buddy?
Ice cream, wine, we got rajas, we got
And
potatoes.
This strawberry and Pinot syrup came out so well. This is for you, my friend. Thank you so much for having me today.
Hey, what a great day.
And look, oh, that is so awesome. This is a true Santa Barbara feast. Well, here's to you.
Cheers.
Thank you.